Secretary Hillary Clinton kept quiet during last week's Republican National Convention, but as your viewers know, Donald Trump probably will not stay silent. Donald Trump's campaign chair and Paul Manafort goes on the record. Nice to see you, Paul.
Hi, Greta. How are you?
Good. So before I ask you about Donald Trump's week next week, I'm curious about this latest with the Deborah Wasserman Schultz and the DNC and the emails. Does the Trump campaign plan to use that in any way during the campaign season, or is this just an issue for the Democrats themselves, or is it one you're going to use?
Well, it certainly exposes the Democratic National Committee as having been complicit in Bernie Sanders' accusation that the system was rigged against all opponents and in favor of Hillary Clinton. But that's actually not the biggest concern. The biggest concern is, the hacking of the Democratic National Committee server put the DNC at risk. You can imagine what a server sitting in a closet in Chappaqua, in Hillary Clinton's home, what was put at risk there. I mean, if the DNC server was going to be hacked, you can imagine how many foreign countries must have hacked her unprotected server, putting national security at risk. So, I mean, it's ironic that the very point that Donald Trump has been talking about for the last year, as far as Hillary Clinton's violations of ethics and her crimes against national security, gets exposed dramatically on the eve of the Democratic Convention by the DNC itself.
What would you, if you're advising Senator Bernie Sanders, I know you're not, but what should he accept an apology, or is there something else to do with the fact that, it seems like there was some scheming against him, even critical of thinking of using his religious beliefs against him? What would you advise Bernie Sanders to do or not do?
Well, look, I mean, unfortunately for Bernie Sanders, the primaries are over. The superdelegates are put in place to nominate Hillary Clinton, and that's going to happen tomorrow. But it's the point that Donald Trump has been saying. The rigged political system needs to be changed, and Bernie Sanders is suffering that plight. And we think that there are supporters of Bernie Sanders who are not ideological, but who are voting for Sanders because they were against Wall Street influencing politics, and Hillary Clinton is the Wall Street candidate. They were against the rigged political system. We think those voters will take a look at us now.
All right, what's Donald Trump's plans this week? Is he going to lie low while the Democrats celebrate here in Philly, or something else?
Donald Trump will not be lying low. He'll be out there campaigning starting tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow he and Governor Pence will be campaigning together. We're going to be going to a number of the battleground states this week, and we're going to be talking about the issues that were framed by his convention speech on Thursday.
Do you expect a bounce out of Cleveland? And if so, what in the polls? What would be a bounce you'd be satisfied with?
Well, in fact, a bounce has been happening since the FBI, should have indicted, called for an indictment of Secretary of State Clinton, but didn't. I mean, since that time, Donald Trump, his message was being heard more clearly, and as it was heard, I mean, the stability of a pre-convention period changed, so we've been growing, and we expect that we're going to be ahead, in most of the battleground states, and already you're seeing in a number of the national polls that Donald Trump is even or slightly ahead.
Paul, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you'll come back.
Thank you, Gar.